Hello, Dr. Damien Igbe from Cloud Technology Experts. In this video, we're making progress in our project. And this project is about deploying a secured website on Amazon EC2, Docker container, and Kubernetes. In this stage of the project, we're going to deploy our website. We have been building the ground just to come to this stage, where we're going to deploy our website. This website we're going to deploy is going to be a one-tier website. When I say one tier, I mean it doesn't use a database. This is just the front end. This is what the users will see when they go to this website. It just consists of mostly the front end and not the back end. This application is available on my GitHub repository. I'm just going to log on to our web server where we deployed Apache in the previous video, and then I'm going to clone the repository onto the web server, and that's all. The page will be ready to be served by Apache. Here we're going to use something called Git utility. It is a very important utility to learn how to use. But in this video, I'm just going to use what I need to use. So, let's just get started. Again, this is the project page. If we scroll down, we're pretty much on this stage where we're going to deploy and configure our website. Full documentation on this website just to make sure that the videos are not too long. All right, let's get started. Here again is my management console. I'm going to go to EC2 and I'm going to look for the server that we configured already. That is our secure website. I click on that and I connect from the management console. Just click on connect. First of all, let's make sure that everything is working as expected. To do that, I'm just going to copy the IP address and paste it here, and our default page is still being served. Once we finish with our configuration, instead of this page coming up, we will see our real website. How exciting! So let's connect. Okay, so again we need to clone the repository, and here is my repository page. Here is my GitHub page with the website I'm going to clone. To clone, I'm just going to come here and copy this command and come back here, and I will say Git Clone, and it says Git no such file. So let's install Git. Sudo yum install Git. So you see, once you learn how to do one thing, you can use the knowledge to do other things. In the earlier video, I showed you how to install Apache using yum. Now I needed to install Git. I just do the same thing. So now Git has been installed. Let's see if we can now clone this repository. So I need to come to the beginning of it and say Git Clone. Now my web page has been cloned into this directory called HTML. So if I go here, I see all the code for this website. So remember what I told you? Even though this repository has been cloned, Apache will not see it. So if I come here, Apache will still be serving me the old page. For Apache to see this, I need to move it into /var/www/html. So basically, I'm going to move everything here using the Linux command move. I'm going to move it to var www.html and I enter. I need to be root. So let me put sudo move and I'm good. So let me clear the screen. Now there's no more content here. Let me just go and try if I can now see my web page. Look at that. A beautiful website that I can use for my business. So scroll down. That is a beautiful web page that we just deployed. Again, this website doesn't have a database. It is just the front end. It comprises of HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. Okay, so I hope that was smooth. Deploying our application is easy. And you can look here, you discover that it's complaining that this website is not secured, which means if I start transacting business with this website, if people start making some payment from this website, their credit card could be compromised because all the information will be sent in clear text, which will not be encrypted. And so one of the things we're going to do is to make sure that we actually install a certificate. Before we do that, we have come to a critical point where we have to decide if we would like to continue using this public IP address. In Amazon, there's a concept of elastic IP address. The importance of elastic IP address is that once you reserve it, it remains with you. It becomes your personal property until you give it back to AWS. That has a huge advantage because this website, we will need to go and configure the DNS A record with my domain registrar. And if I do that with this IP, the problem is that anytime this server reboots, I have to go back to my registrar and put the IP of the new EC2 instance. Because each time you reboot an instance in AWS or you stop it and start it again, it gets a new public IP address. Elastic IP address is here to help us overcome that problem. Basically, again, once we reserve it, it becomes ours. And then we can keep it. To do that is pretty easy. I'm just going to come here to my home page, go back to EC2, and come back to here to Elastic IPs. And I'm just going to allocate Elastic IP. And I'm just going to make sure it's in the same region that I'm using, which is correct. And I'll say allocate. So now I have this IP address. Now the next stage is to attach it to our EC2 instance. Once we do that, the EC2 instance will lose the previous IP address that we have been using. So let me go here. It is already selected. And then say associate Elastic IP. And we're going to use an instance. And I'm going to select my instance, which is the secure website. That's all I have to do. Just click on associate. And now my EC2 instance has got a new IP address. This is a static IP address. It doesn't change. Once I made a configuration in my DNS registrar's dashboard, it doesn't change. So let's test this. If I come back here and I refresh, again you can see it's spinning around because this IP is no longer in use. If that IP is no longer in use, of course we cannot access it. So this IP is no longer in use. How do I now access my website? I need to go and just copy the Elastic IP. So let me copy it from here and then come here, paste it, And now I have my website coming up on a different IP address, which is basically the Elastic IP address. Very good. With that, we can go ahead and configure our DNS A record to point this IP to an actual domain. Remember, in the prerequisite for this course, I said you should register a domain name if you want to follow through the project end to end. It's not compulsory, but it's just useful if you want to follow through end to end. All right. At this point, we have our website configured, but it's not secured. At the same time, we said this is going to be a secured website. We'll take care of that in the next video, and then we'll actually point it to an actual domain as we progress in this project. All right? I hope you find this useful, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.